We're back talking about superfoods that could help boost brain power and enhance your memory and ways we can integrate them into our diets. Nishta, first of all, we spoke a little bit earlier about the foods that we should be avoiding.
Yes.
How about the foods we should be including for a good, healthy brain?
Yeah, well, what we've actually built here is kind of a little bit of a superfood food assembly. So the first one is berries. These are multiple colored berries. It doesn't have to be one specific type. Each of them kind of has different phytochemicals, as they're called.
Okay.
And those are really the things that give it these, anthocyaninic pigments, the red color, the blue color.
Why is color so important?
Color is important because those specific pigments actually have effect on the brain. And so they help with everything. They can also even help with vascular function, things like vasodilation of the blood vessels to make sure our blood is pumping properly. They are really, and the fibers actually contained within berries also have a really potent impact on our gut health. Our gut is connected to our brain, as well as just having standard vitamins, things like vitamin C.
You always hear they're rich in antioxidants,
Yes.
rich in anti-inflammatory
Yes.
properties, all good for the brain, of
All
course.
great for the brain, and you can mix it up. It doesn't have to be one type all the time.
And speaking of things that we should be
Yeah.
eating, dark leafy greens.
Dark leafy greens. So this is another one, beautifully rich and dense in magnesium. Magnesium is something we know has potent impact on brain health. And it can be, again, a variety. We have curly leaf green kale here. We have broccoli. You could have spinach. We have collard greens. Each of them, again, has slightly different mineral profiles. But when we cook these and steam them, we allow our body to more easily absorb the mineral content. And again, color is everything. This green chlorophyll-rich color, the color pigments actually have impact on human health.
Good to know. Now, next is kefir, and this is one that I think is relatively new in terms of being classified as a superfood. Yeah. What is it?
So basically, it is originally, it is a dairy-based product, usually used with cow's milk dairy or sheep's milk dairy, and it's highly fermented. So it's more fermented, it's more tangy. I would say it's in between milk and yogurt. It's thinner than yogurt, and it's more fermented, so it's more tangy, and it's thicker than milk, and milk really doesn't have a tang to it.
Now, for people that are uncomfortable with milk products or
Yes.
for whatever reason don't want to include milk products,
Yes.
could you get it in a vegan form?
Yes, they are actually now making something like this with a culture that's made from coconut. So that would be, they're using some type of a culture to generate sort of some of the same bacteria that we want to get, the live cultures from kefir. And that's really the benefit of this product, is it contains Lactobacillus acidophilus, different probiotic live bacterial cultures, and these help to feed our own gut microbiome. We could do a whole show on that, how that impacts brain health and brain function, but really getting daily doses of these types of highly fermented foods have great impact indirectly on brain health.
And you mentioned dose, how much?
I mean, generally about half a cup. You can go up to a cup. You could certainly have 2 cups a day. You can use it in many ways. You can put it in smoothies. You can pour it over some type of cereal or hot cereal. You could pour it over fruit. But it's a really wonderful food, and it works for many different people in one household. So that's why I love it.
All right, and next.
Yes.
This is an almond butter.
Yes.
You could substitute that for a peanut butter.
Absolutely.
I mean, as long as it's all natural, not the sugar stuff.
That's right. So that's a great point. You don't want to have the stuff that has the added icing sugar and the added oils. Then you're going to negate the effects of having a nut butter.
And what are the effects of a nut butter?
So a nut butter essentially has healthy fat. So it's going to be a source of vitamin E, but it has these healthy fats, polyunsaturated fatty acids. We're also going to talk about monounsaturated fatty acids, but those are the fats that really promote heart health and promote brain health. They don't clog our arteries. They don't cause that sort of inflammatory process. So nut butters, it could be peanut butter, almond butter, even seed butters, can even have different amounts of zinc and minerals in them. They're a great addition to the diet in many different ways. They are very high in calories, so you just want to make sure, as an example, you don't want to eat, 3 buckets full a day, but they are a wonderful addition to the diet, specifically for the heart and the brain.
Okay, and what about these seeds here? So we've got a couple different kinds.
We have a few different kinds here. So flax seeds here, as you can see, these contain things called lignans. They're kind of getting a bad rap, but in fact, they actually have some really interesting effects on human health. And these are going to go through the gut undigested, but they're going to give us lots of excellent fiber. If we grind the flaxseed and we have that powder that comes from that, we're getting even more benefit. We're going to get excellent fatty acids as well as soluble fiber, really important for cleaning the gut, which then has an impact on the neurotransmitters and how our brain functions. Chia seeds, these are wonderful, also contain fatty acids. Again, in the dry form, they're going to go through undigested. We can't break this down in our gut. But if we soak this in any kind of a liquid overnight or even just for a few hours, we create kind of a viscous pudding, chia pudding, if you've heard of it. and you can use that, and that's an excellent source of
And as
soluble
far
fat.
as servings go, I mean, we're talking just a teaspoon, right?
Absolutely, you can work. This doesn't have to be, tablespoons full. It could be anywhere from 1, 2, 3 tablespoons. You can get up to a tablespoon of any of these daily. That would be wonderful. The last one is hemp hearts. What we love about this is it's a source of omega-9 fatty acids. And our kind of common typical diet is very high in omega-6 fatty acids, too low in omega-3 fatty acids, and no one knows what's going on with omega-9s. We need them. So this is a great source of that as well.
Okay, by the way, we're making our way to a smoothie. So the last ingredient here we have is Greek yogurt.
Yes.
Which you can find substitutes for coconut yogurt.
Yep, absolutely. And what we love about this particular product is the protein. It's a great way to add extra protein, highly biologically valuable protein, to what you're making to, again, give it that extra protein kick, because lots of people are definitely not getting enough protein. And then here we have, to finish it off, green bananas.
Why green?
Yes, so green bananas, in this is the perfect example actually, they have resistant starch. Now again, I'm talking about the gut, but we know from all the thousands of studies coming out, the gut and the brain have a highway connected, and they're very, very dependent on each other for proper function. Green bananas feed the bacteria in our gut what they want. They make all kinds of yummy, wonderful gases, short-chain fatty acids, butyrate in particular. This helps our gut function, which then also triggers proper brain function. So when you eat your bananas and they're a bit green, they're high in that resistant starch. They're not high in a lot of added sugar, so they're great for a whole variety of different people. And when you're blending it up, you don't really notice the taste difference. You don't even notice it when you eat it.
Okay, let's take this lid off,
Yes.
maybe give it a little bit of a pour, and let me
Okay.
just ask, I mean, is this a...
Twist and
How
pull.
does
There
this-
you go.
There we go.
Yep, nice.
Okay, so is this, what do you recommend when it comes to smoothies? Is this a meal substitute, or, because we've added all of these ingredients here.
It's a great question. I would say probably not for most people. This is going to be something, it could be a snack. This could be something in addition to a meal. One of the reasons you don't want to use this as a meal substitute is just drinking something can sometimes leave you not full, and it could leave you overeating at your next meal. So if you were to pair this with another source of protein, maybe some eggs, some whole grain toast, tofu soup, like there's a whole variety of things people will eat in the morning, I would say this is a great superfood addition to a meal.
Well, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheers, Nishta.
Cheers.
When we come back, just how important of a role do superfoods play in your heart health? That's next.